Paladins splits its current game mode into two with its latest patch. Smite goes epic once again with the new Thor skin. Flyff celebrates 10 years running, and oddly enough, Triad Wars comes to a close. What's up guys, James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com, hoping you're enjoying your Christmas and holiday time, being with family, playing games, and taking the much needed break from school. Seeing that it is holiday time, the news is really light this week and next week, but either way, there is still some news for this very quick weekly recap, starting out with an announcement for the first expansion for ELOA. The game's first expansion, Part 1, is now available as of December 22nd, and it's increased the level cap to 40, added new zones, a monster journal update, quest achievements, and titles. The expansion is broken into two parts, and the first part adds in a new map called the Crying Land that introduces a new boss that is sort of derived from the fiery landscape around them. With a rise in level cap, players can then find new zone quests, items, and more to best fit their playstyle, but once you reach the level cap, you can then explore Guntara's hideout and the Spider Cave, the new level 40 dungeons, homes for Guntara and the Spider Queen Ishiba. Not a whole lot added to the game to be considered an expansion in my opinion, but like I said, this is part 1 of 2 for the same expansion, so look forward to more info on part 2 of the expansion sometime coming this January. Next up, we have a new Prologue video for HeroWarz, the new action RPG headed to the West by KOG Games and some of the team on Dungeon Fighter Online. This new trailer presents the game's backstory when the world was taken by the seas in 2016. Let's hope that doesn't actually happen. From there, those who survived inside the Ark started a new civilization, and 45 years later, that civilization split into 3 separate empires. Over 470 years later from that point, a descendant of the original Ark survivors dreams of the world before, and apparently a fragment inside a necklace will fulfill dreams and ambitions. So the little girl, known as Maya, gets trapped in her own dream, but is somehow able to change things due to the fragment, I suppose. Check out the new trailer at the site post. It's an interesting beginning to the story so far, and from the looks of the gameplay that I've seen, the game itself seems like it's something to look forward to in 2016. This past week, Paladins introduced closed beta patch 11 that focuses on game mode changes for holiday testing. First off, challenge matches have been added to queue select. Now it lets you queue up with teams, so that's good if you're a streamer and want to play with your fans, or just get a group of friends together in one match. Beyond that, they've introduced the experimental game mode queue as a way to introduce 2 different game mode variations. Now, when you select the experimental queue, you have a random chance at either the assault or capture point game mode. In assault, there are no capture points, so siege engines just sort of alternate going after each team's base, making it come down to kills between teams for victory, essentially. Capture point is just the opposite. There are absolutely no siege engines, and in this, teams are trying to be the first to capture 5 points in a row that randomly spawn across the map. So basically, the original game mode has now been split into 2 game modes for the time being. You can definitely expect to see plenty more changes like this before Paladins goes into open beta, but when I was hoping for more game modes, this isn't exactly what I was expecting. Also from HeroWarz Studios, Smite has done it once again for this year's Odyssey, leading up to the second Smite World Championship this coming month, and that is introducing a skin of epic proportions, similar to the Archon skin for Thanatos that evolves with the god. The new Ragnarok Force X skin for Thor does just the same, transforming Thor into a Japanese-style warrior piloting a mech suit. Why Japanese? Well, apparently it's said to be the newly introduced pantheon they're working on for new gods. Now, in my opinion, the coolest part about the skin is that it has 2 forms, and as Thor builds up power, pieces of the mech suit sort of flies in and snaps on like the Iron Man suit. Not only that, but the voice changes as the skin evolves into the mech suit. Plus, this new skin has its own soundtrack that plays instead of the traditional music in Smite, and it even has a unique profile card that evolves during the loading screen. I mean, they've been working on this skin since June, and they really went all out on it. More details about the new Japanese Pantheon are going to be revealed in a few weeks at the Smite World Championship, so definitely look forward to that. Meanwhile, keep up with the Odyssey to pick up this badass new epic skin for Thor. Apparently, it's been known to change your life. Next up, Gloria Victis has recently closed its pre-alpha and transitioned into full alpha, complete with a server wipe to give players a fresh start or to make some players really mad in some cases. This new alpha version features a lot of improvements already implemented, such as a reworked inventory system with storage expansions, a revamped guild system, including guild announcements, improved combat that players have been asking for, including feints and improved enemy AI. They've also introduced the building system with new areas, including the suburbs, docks, an inn, and the new Valley of Death tournament. Sounds pretty cool. According to the comments of the official patch notes, there are still plenty of fixes for the dev teams to look through, but if you're interested in playing the game, all you have to do is pledge a small amount on their website in order to gain access to the alpha. Even more news from Webzen. This past week, they've announced that Flyff is celebrating its 10th anniversary with game events and a skip level that allows players to receive a full level boost to their characters. Players will be able to boost their characters directly to level 60, as well as getting them fully geared with weapons and armor, and have that last until around January 5th. Certainly a good way to figure out a direction to take with a character that you plan on leveling the old-fashioned way. It's pretty cool to see games survive in the harsh competitive gaming world for that long, but unfortunately, that isn't the case for everyone. In a surprise forum post just before Christmas, United Front Games announced that Triad Wars would be ending its beta and service on January 20th. The game that just came out with a really cool update that was supposed to introduce true multiplayer instead of strictly simultaneous gameplay is in fact shutting down. No clear reason was given from United Front Games or from the game's publisher, Square Enix, and the only hints that something might have been changing was in a few staff departures during November and early December. For now, Gold will become completely free as the game remains live for a couple more weeks so that existing players can enjoy unlocking everything. Refunds will be offered for Gold purchases up until now, and they will no longer be accepting in-game purchases. Now to me, if this game had a little bit more time to cater to players like it seemed to be doing, or at least on its way to doing, it would have ended up being a really fun game. It's kind of too bad that it didn't get that chance. Anyway guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this really short holiday week. Keep a lookout for the MMOHuts Best Games of 2015 and Most Anticipated Games of 2016 videos coming to you guys really soon. Like always, if you're looking for more information regarding the news and the recap, check the links in the description below or head over to MMOHuts.com for even more MMO news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. But until next time guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.